Coming up next is Dr. Shoaib Ahmed, final year medical student from Deccan College of Medical Sciences, Hyderabad, who will be elucidating the classification of COVID 19. Over to you, Shoaib.
Before I start, I would like to say no classification ever done is perfect or complete for all purposes. Now, we'll be seeing two classifications of COVID-19, and before we see that, we'll see WHO's case definitions. Now, WHO defines cases as suspect case, as a probable case, and a confirmed case. So, what's a suspect case? A person who meets the clinical and epidemiological criteria is placed into suspect case. For the clinical criteria, acute onset of fever and cough, or acute onset of any of the three or more of the following signs and symptoms: fever, cough, general weakness or fatigue, headache, myalgia, sore throat, coryza, dyspnea, anorexia, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, altered mental status. And for epidemiological criteria, residing or working in an area with high risk of transmission of virus, such as closed residential settings, humanitarian settings such as camp and camp-like settings, for displaced persons, anytime within 14 days prior to the symptom onset, or residing or travel to an area with community transmission in any time within 14 days prior to the symptom onset, or working in any healthcare settings, including health facilities or within community, anytime within 14 days prior to the onset of symptoms, or a patient with severe acute respiratory illness, acute respiratory infection with history of fever or measured fever of 38 degrees Celsius and cough with onset within last 10 days and requiring hospitalization. For probable case, a patient who meets clinical criteria and a contact of a probable or confirmed case or epidemiologically linked to a cluster with at least one confirmed case, or a suspect case with imaging showing finding suggestive of COVID-19 disease, and this will be explained in detail by subsequent speakers. A person with the recent onset of anosmia, loss of taste in the absence of any other identified cause, or death not otherwise explained in an adult with respiratory distress preceding death and was a contact of a probable or confirmed case, or epidemiologically linked to a cluster with at least one confirmed case. Now, a person with laboratory confirmation of COVID-19, irrespective of signs and symptoms, is treated as confirmed case for COVID-19. Now we'll see classification of COVID-19 according to severity. Asymptomatic, mild, moderate, severe, and critical. Asymptomatic, a person with laboratory confirmation of COVID-19 showing no signs or symptoms whatsoever. The mild disease, symptomatic people meeting the case definition of COVID-19, which was just described, without evidence of viral pneumonia or hypoxia. The moderate disease, adolescent or adult showing clinical signs of pneumonia, fever, cough, dyspnea, fast breathing, and no signs of severe pneumonia, including saturation of oxygen greater than 90% on room air, or a child with signs of non-severe pneumonia like cough, difficulty breathing, fast breathing, and or chest indrawing, and no signs of severe pneumonia. The fast breathing for less than 2 months of age greater than or equal to 60 breaths per minute, 2 to 11 months of age greater than or equal to 50 breaths per minute, for 1 to 5 years greater than or equal to 40 breaths per minute. Severe disease, adolescent or adult with the clinical signs of pneumonia, fever, cough, dyspnea, fast breathing, plus one of the following: respiratory rate greater than 30 breaths per minute, severe respiratory distress, and saturation of oxygen less than 90% on room air. Child showing clinical signs of pneumonia, cough or difficulty in breathing, at least one of the following, like central cyanosis or saturation of oxygen less than 90%, severe respiratory distress, fast breathing, grunting, severe chest indrawing. Here, general danger sign includes inability to breastfeed or drink, lethargy, convulsions, or unconsciousness. The critical disease, ARDS, acute respiratory distress syndrome, onset within 1 week of a known clinical insult, that is pneumonia, or new or worsening respiratory symptoms. Chest imaging, radiograph, CT scan, ultrasound, they will be described in detail by our subsequent speakers. They show bilateral opacities not fully explained by volume overload, lobar or lung collapse, or nodules. Origin of pulmonary infiltrates, respiratory failure not fully explained by cardiac failure or fluid overload. ECG needs to be done to rule out the hydrostatic causes of infiltrates or edema if no risk factor is present. Oxygen impairment in adults, while ARDS means partial pressure of oxygen divided by fraction of inspired oxygen between 200 to 300 millimeters of mercury is said to be mild ARDS. If it's between 100 to 200, then it's moderate ARDS. Then for severe ARDS, either it should be less than 100 or less than or equal to 100 for it to be termed as severe ARDS. Sepsis, acute life-threatening organ dysfunction caused by dysregulated host response to suspected or proven infection. Signs of organ dysfunction include altered mental status, difficulty or fast breathing, low oxygen saturation, reduced urine output, fast heart rate, cold extremities, weak pulse, low blood pressure, skin mottling, laboratory evidence of coagulopathy, thrombocytopenia, acidosis, high lactate, or hyperbilirubinemia. Septic shock. It's persistent hypotension despite volume resuscitation requiring vasopressors to maintain mean arterial pressure greater than or equal to 65 millimeters of mercury and serum lactate level greater than 2 millimoles per liter. Now we'll see classification of COVID-19 by its prognosis. This was proposed by a study done in China in Tongji Hospital, Wuhan. They have proposed 4 types of prognosis: type A, type B, type C, and type D. For this, they have included 6 data categories: the demographic information of age and gender, symptoms, original comorbidities, vital signs, normal routine blood tests, and inflammatory marker measurements. The type A they have put extremely poor prognosis. It's elderly enriched, dry cough, dyspnea, fatigue, the common symptoms, hypertension, diabetes, CAD, for the common pre-existing conditions. Patients presented with severe respiratory failure, dramatically elevated counts of WBC and neutrophil, and lymphocyte depletion. Remarkably elevated cytokine occurred in these patients, accompanied by later development of ARDS and multiple organ failure. Now the type B is a poor prognosis, elderly enriched, dyspnea, cough with expectoration were the common symptoms accompanied by diarrhea and anorexia. Unfavorable respiratory conditions and decreased lymphocyte count could be observed. Patient presented an imminent elevation of cytokine and a high risk of developing ARDS and multiple organ failure following the treatment. Type C, intermediate prognosis. Symptoms of dry cough and fatigue and original comorbidity of hypertension were common. Respiratory condition was normal and most laboratory tests were within normal or moderately elevated. Type D, favorable prognosis, middle age enriched. Primary symptom was cough with expectoration. Patient had stable breathing. Most laboratory tests were in the normal range or slightly elevated. As I said earlier, no classification is complete or perfect for all purposes. Yet we go through this whole exercise of classifying, presenting, and why we do this? Because answer is simple. The actual enemy is the unknown. Thank you.